Oh dear. Oh dear. No bong. It didn't make a bong. Oh, it's your boy, Skinny Penis. I need something to put the mic on. I'll just pull the spark plug out.
Nice.
What a sound. Hey, I'm Dingy. What's up? Here in my garage,
just bought
my
this,
new Lamborghini here. Let's get one thing straight. Nobody cares that you own a Lamborghini. Let's get into it. $94,612.79. That's what it costs to buy a $78,000 car. Of course, that includes the cost of the car. And if I were to just say it cost me $15,992.84, that's a whole lot less interesting than almost $100,000. Oh my God, what are you, rich? Are you so stylish and handsome? No, what I am is kind of stupid. That's what it cost me to buy and register and own this car for 1 year. We look at cars and bids. Shout out to Doug. If you look at my final bid, I shrewdly negotiated $75,500, and so what I ended up paying is $78,500. I'm quite the negotiator myself. On top of that, there's a buyer's fee. Buyer's fee, I think, is usually 5%. To make the deal happen, they reduced it to 2.5%. On top of the $78,500 that I purchased the car for, $1,900-ish for the buyer's fee. You could, I guess, say this car actually cost out the door $80,462.50. Suddenly this cheap Lambo still remains a cheap Lambo, but a little less cheap, and it's gonna keep getting less cheap as we go on. This was in Doug's Dungeon. It was the car that got reviewed. They made some extra videos with it. I thought it would be fun, just against that, because then I would not making any sense for me to do. Shipping was the way to go. This car in October. Sit in Doug's Dungeon. Was traveling a lot for work. Find a decent shipper, I guess, was more of a problem. But I have a friend who has transported cars many a time. I had him pick it up for me. That cost about $2,000. So now, with shipping, we're at $82,462.50. So I'm not a scrub, and so I registered it in the state of Colorado. Because honestly, it's pretty fucking cringe when someone buys a car that they can't or don't want to afford to register in the state that they live. That's my opinion. So all said and done, to register this car in the state of Colorado, including titling fees, registration, and a lot of taxes, it ended up being $6,326.91. That was tough. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that I had calculated that beforehand. My estimate was a little off, but I was still in the ballpark, so it, I didn't end up screwing myself. So that brings our total up to $88,789.41. I still technically cannot drive it after 60 days in the state of Colorado because I need to license it. I mean, to be honest with you, it's Colorado. The number of temp tags that I see still driving around from 2023 is insane, so I think I would have been okay. That ended up being another $184.27. We're now at $89,024.68. This $78,000 car very quickly became a $90,000 car. And I know if it was more expensive to begin with, everything after that would have also been a little more expensive, so I'm still getting a deal, but these are the costs that I didn't think about until I started actually looking like legitimately for a car. I think it's really easy when you're perusing the auction sites to be like, oh wow, oh what could have been 78 grand for a Lambo? Yo, I'm pretty sure that's a Lambo, dude. You might be thinking, wow, that's cheap and I can probably afford that. Do the little extra legwork and figure out what it's gonna cost to ship and what it's gonna cost to get it legal in your state. So I'm gonna call all of that stuff the necessary costs. Everything moving forward is what I'm gonna call service and repair. Because as you might imagine, a 20-year-old Lamborghini had a couple things that I needed to worry about. Very first thing I bought after, I guess, receiving the car was a fire extinguisher. $119.95. It just lives in the car. Shortly thereafter, I was driving around, power steering goes out. It's just kind of a thing that's known to happen on especially the pre-facelift cars. So I took it to a shop to just get a post-purchase inspection, an oil change, and for them to kind of try to diagnose what exactly happened to the power steering. The post-purchase inspection was 2 hours, it's $500. The power steering stuff was $1,000, and then the oil change was $963.71. And after that, I figured from here on out, I'll just service it myself. So in total, bringing it to the shop cost me about $2,600, which is like, not great, but it could have been a whole lot worse because they also gave me a quote of things that should probably be addressed. A lot of these things I can do on my own, so I decided to not have them do any of them. I brought it up to Breckenridge with some friends, took it on its first sort of tunnel run. That was awesome. The map sensor failed, and at first it just threw a check engine light, and I was like, oh god, I'm done for. It didn't run any differently. It's not like the check engine light turned on and it was like stumbling and having issues. When I got back, I plugged in my code reader, and I had 3 different codes. One was a map sensor code, another was a misfire, and the last was actually a cat overheating. Map sensor, not that bad. I can replace that myself, that's not a problem. Lamborghini wants $890.25 for a map sensor. You don't have to pay that. You can just take those actually, they're free. It's a Bosch part. And you just look up the Bosch part and you find out that the same exact map sensor, it's technically a T-map sensor, is used on a Volkswagen Golf from like 2015. Huge. I'll pay $22 for that part, thank you very much. Still had the misfire. I figured one of the spark plugs has since gotten soiled, so it was just continuing to misfire. Might as well do all the spark plugs and coil packs. I felt kind of stupid at the time. When you're buying 10 of everything, shit adds up pretty quick. It ended up being $350. Other sort of maintenance things that I figured I should do and I can do myself pretty easily. Transmission fluid change, super easy on this car. $172. And then on top of that, I just bought a bunch of spares, transmission service, drain plug gaskets, all of that stuff while I was buying stuff. That was like another $100 worth of parts. I'm gonna include this because I did buy it specifically so I could work on this car. I didn't include any other tools, so I don't know if this is really that accurate to include. I did buy a quick jack to make it super easy to get the car up into the air. And that brings me to my last service and repair. And the reason this car currently is up in the air and the rear bumper is completely taken off and the rear end is kind of taken apart. On a drive with my friends in the mountains, awesome day. Got up early, got into the mountains. Really fun day. Right outside my neighborhood, smoke started pouring from the engine bay and I was like, oh god, it's happening. Jump out with my fire extinguisher, pop open the engine cover. There's a very small flare up, but then it's just a lot of smoke.
Something happened.
Probably something with the e-gear system. This is an e-gear car. I'm sorry. It was one of the hoses that had failed. It just shot all the fluid directly into the exhaust, which was awesome. Really cool design shit right there, Lamborghini. Luckily, there's an awesome hydraulic shop nearby. When you dig down into it, there's absolutely nothing special about these hoses. They are literally just regular hydraulic hoses with banjo fittings. You can bring it to any hydraulic shop and be like, hey, can you just remake these hoses? It cost me, $423 to get 5 new hoses made with the exact same specifications as the original, considering that one hose from Lamborghini was gonna cost $800 to $1,000. I think I made it out pretty okay. If we look at the total cost of ownership over this 1 year, That including the purchase price of the car, it's $94,612.79. If we take a look at just what the service items cost, so this is realistically minus fuel, the cost of running the car, we're looking at almost $5,600. And again, a lot of these things are kind of stuff that needed to be done anyway, and one-time sort of thing, like post-purchase inspection and stuff. So if we take the quick check out, that's about $4,000. That's a lot of money. It could have been a whole lot worse. This was my dream car when I was a kid, so it's really cool in a spot where I can afford it. And I think I got pretty lucky with this particular car. Pretty low miles. For the last 3 hours, there was one bid, and it was me. So I don't know. I think people got a little spooked because some of the interior is a little rough. The wheels are a little bit heinous, I'm not gonna lie. Black chrome is not the way to go. That's kind of what it costs to actually buy a supercar at an auction and own it for a year. Your mileage may vary. Again, I think I got pretty lucky with this one. It's been a pretty solid experience so far. Currently still apart, but I got all the parts. It's going back together. The only issue I have now is there's this one part that is just known for absolutely disintegrating. Look out in the future for a video where I pretty much reverse engineer that part. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video, maybe. Cut. Okay.